Mary had a little lamb.
From the classiest radio station on the air, this is...
To the Black Rabbit's Curse, where every shadow hides a sinister verse. Hear the airs thick with dread and tales of terror twist in your head. Into the dark unknown, where fear takes root and chills the bone. Beware, dear traveler, for once you're here, the curse may linger year after year. Robert Smalls, The Ship That Came Back, a Black Rabbit's Curse original, inspired by Robert Smalls, Charleston Harbor, South Carolina, present day. The ocean never forgets. It keeps every secret, every scream, every body, every promise. People think the sea washes history away. They're wrong. It preserves it, especially the stories soaked in injustice. For decades, fishermen near Charleston Harbor reported impossible sightings. A Confederate steamship drifting through a heavy fog. No engine, no crew, no lights, just silence. The Coast Guard never found anything. Historians blamed weather. Scientists blamed optical illusions. Locals blamed ghosts. But every witness agreed on one terrifying detail. The captain standing at the wheel was a black man wearing a Civil War uniform. And every person who tried boarding the vessel vanished forever. Most believed it was merely another ghost story. Until Marcus Freeman, a black maritime historian restoring forgotten Civil War wrecks, received a package with no return address. Inside sat an ancient brass compass. Its needle wasn't pointing north. It pointed towards Charleston Harbor. Tucked beneath it laid a weathered note, only 6 words. Robert never sailed home. Marcus knew the story. Everyone did. In 1862, Robert Smalls escaped slavery by commandeering a Confederate transport steamship. He disguised himself as a captain, sailed past Confederate forts, picked up his family, delivered the ship to Union forces, an impossible act of courage. Historians celebrate the escape, but history rarely tells every story. While examining forgotten Navy records, inside sealed archives, Marcus discovered a journal written by an anonymous Union soldier. Most pages had rotten away. Only one remained readable. It simply said, "Smalls bought more than just freedom aboard." Another line followed, written shakily, almost carved into the paper. Something climbed onto the ship beneath the waterline. Marcus laughed. Ghost stories. Every old harbor had them. Then the archive light flickered. Salt water dripped from the ceiling. One drop landed directly on the journal. Words appeared, that hadn't existed seconds earlier. Fresh, wet, as if someone invisible had just written them. It is still waiting. Ignoring every warning, Marcus joined the sonar expedition, searching for the wreck of the planner. The harbor became calm, too calm. No birds, no dolphins, even the waves stopped moving. Then sonar located something enormous beneath them, far larger than historical records claimed. As divers prepared to descend, a radar malfunctioned. Instead of showing water, it displayed an old wooden desk. Then footsteps echoed across the empty research vessel. Heavy boots, slow, purposeful, clunk, clunk, clunk. Nobody stood there, yet soaking wet footprints crossed the deck. Each footprint filled with black seawater. Marcus followed them. They stopped beside the railing. Something enormous moved beneath the surface. Not swimming, walking. In massive shadow paced across the ocean floor, keeping perfect speed with the boat, watching them, waiting. Then the fogs rolled in. Within seconds, another ship appeared beside them. No splash, no warning, just there, the planner. Untouched by time, steam drifting silently into the night. Standing at its wheel was Robert Smalls, but something felt horribly wrong. His face looked peaceful. His eyes were completely black. Robert Smalls raised one hand, not waving, warning them. Marcus climbed aboard, despite every instinct screaming to run. The wood deck groaned beneath his feet. It smelled like seawater, rotting wood, and fresh blood. No crew, no passengers, only whispers, thousands of them. Coming from below, Marcus opened the cargo hatch. His flashlight revealed chains, broken shackles, children's shoes, prayer beads, a torn Bible, every historian expected. Then he noticed something impossible. The cargo hold didn't end. The stairs continued downward, far below sea level, far beyond what the ship could physically contain. Every step lower, the temperature. Every step deepened the whispers, until Marcus reached a cavern, not beneath the ship, beneath the ocean itself. There, towering above him, stood an impossible tree. Its roots were made of rusted chains. Its bark resembled human skin. thousands of faces stretched across its trunk, every face slightly crying seawater. Then they opened their eyes together. One whispered, "Freedom has a price." The ghost of Robert Smalls finally spoke. His voice echoed like distant waves. "I escaped, but I could not leave them." Marcus stared. "The people who died crossing these waters, they had nowhere to go. They followed me." Robert pointed towards the chain tree. "I carry every forgotten soul home." Marcus looked closer. The faces weren't prisoners. They were protected, hidden, safe. The tree wasn't feeding on them. It was sheltering them. Then the ocean shook. Something warped beneath the roots. The tree trembled violently. Robert whispered, "It found us." The roots split apart. Something ancient began climbing upward. A creature made from shipwrecks, anchor chains, rotting timbers, and thousands of skeletal hands. Its mouth stretched across an entire harbor. Its voice sounded like every slave ship that had ever crossed the Atlantic.
"I want them back."
The spirit screamed. Robert stepped forward. "I've held this line for 160 years. I can't do it alone no more." Marcus grabbed an ancient compass. Its needle stopped spinning, then pointed directly at him. Every face inside the tree smiled sadly. Robert removed his captain's hat, placed it into Marcus' trembling hands. "The harbor has always needed a captain." Marcus screamed, "No!" Robert nodded. "I said the same thing." Then Robert began dissolving into seawater. His body became mist. His smile remained peaceful. As dawn approached, the ghost ship slowly disappeared. The ocean became quiet again. The expedition found Marcus alone, floating in the harbor, holding an old captain's hat. No ship, no trees, no evidence. Only history. Only so they believed. Months later, tourists gathered at Charleston Harbor for a sunrise cruise. Children laughed, boats departed. Everything seemed normal until the fog rolled across the water. Every compass on every boat spun wildly. Every radio filled with whispers. Then, out of the mist, the planner appeared again. Only now, someone else stood at the wheel. Marcus Freeman, his eyes completely black, calm, patient, watching the shoreline. Beside him stood Robert Smalls, smiling proudly. No longer the captain, only a passenger. Then the harbor itself began to move. The water rose like breathing lungs. The ocean wasn't haunted, it was alive. Robert Smalls had never been guarding a ghost ship. He had been guarding the entrance to something sleeping beneath the Atlantic since the beginning of human memory, and when he finally passed the captain's hat to Marcus, the ancient thing below opened one enormous sign. Across the world, every harbor bell rang at the exact same moment. Ship stopped moving, compass pointed towards Charleston, and from somewhere impossibly deep beneath the Atlantic, an older voice than history whispered,
The next captain has arrived.
"Sit here, heart still racing, eyes wide open. Remember, the terror doesn't end when the video does. You may try to forget, but the shadows have a way of following. The whispers grow louder each night, don't they? So go ahead, close your eyes, if you dare. But know this, you're not alone. Not anymore. But the Black Rabbit's curse has seen you, and it's waiting. So what happens when the lights go out? If you want to find out, make sure you come back. But next time, will you be ready? Sleep well." Or don't.